The number of U.S. coronavirus cases in the United States topped the 1 million mark Tuesday, even as several states began taking small steps to reopen for business. According to the count by Johns Hopkins University, 1 million is by far the largest number for any country in the world. The global number of cases is just over 3 million. More than 57,000 Americans have died from COVID-19. Some U.S. health officials say they believe the actual number of U.S. cases may be higher than reported because of a lack of testing and reporting. Those officials are also warning state governors not to be too hasty to allow businesses to reopen, saying any premature easing of lockdowns and social distancing could lead to a surge in new cases. There are reports of a rise in the number of new cases in states that have started to ease restrictions, including Georgia, Iowa, Tennessee, and Texas. The White House has been inconsistent on recommending whether states can start lifting stay-at-home orders. President Donald Trump has said it is time to get the U.S. economy moving again. He has thrown support behind protesters who have filled the streets of many state capitals, demanding stores and other businesses reopen. The International Rescue Committee warned Tuesday that up to 1 billion potential COVID-19 cases and 3.2 million potential deaths could occur in 34 countries that are confronting crises or are at war. Those include Afghanistan, Syria, and Yemen. The IRC said an analysis of potential response scenarios found COVID-19 could cause between 500 and 1 billion infections and between 1.7 and 3.2 million fatalities in those vulnerable countries. IRC President and CEO David Miliband called on the world's wealthiest countries to help the most vulnerable nations in this time. This is VOA News. National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases Director Dr. Anthony Fauci said Tuesday he expects the United States COVID-19 cases to increase when the country opens from its coronavirus lockdown. Fauci said if restrictions are relaxed carefully, then the numbers of new cases will be low. Under that scenario, he said models show a low number of cases would be 70,000 to 80,000 nationwide. Fauci said by the end of this year, we should know whether we have a safe and effective vaccine. And then he says the challenge would be making enough of it and distributing it in the United States and around the world. Former U.S. Secretary of State and Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton has endorsed former Vice President Joe Biden in his bid to run against the Republican President Donald Trump in the November national election. Clinton's a former First Lady and New York Senator. She narrowly lost the 2016 presidential election to President Trump. She joins former President Barack Obama and most of Biden's former Democratic rivals in supporting Biden's candidacy. Austrian officials announced Tuesday the nation will lift lockdown measures effective Friday, May 1st. That makes it among the first European countries to do so. Austria has been under lockdown for about 7 weeks, during which people were only allowed to leave their homes for designated reasons. As of Friday, people will still need to maintain a 1-meter distance from each other in public, and people will be required to wear a face mask in public. Restaurants will be allowed to reopen May 15th, although that 1-meter distance rule will still apply. Hundreds of protesters set 2 banks on fire and clashed with soldiers Tuesday in Tripoli, Lebanon, as the country's crippling financial crisis is being worsened by coronavirus lockdown measures. Medical and security sources said the clashes erupted in the country's north after a tense funeral for a man who was shot to death by soldiers during riots overnight in the mostly Sunni Muslim city. Tripoli, which shares a name with the capital city of Libya, is in one of the most impoverished and neglected areas in Lebanon. Prime Minister Hassan Diab reminded the public we are facing a new reality. He urged citizens to refrain from violence. And police in Madagascar's capital, Antananarivo, are enforcing new rules requiring citizens to wear coronavirus masks outside their homes by forcing violators to clean city streets. The new rule went into effect on Monday. Citizens who were caught ignoring it could be seen in the city, sweeping streets and picking up garbage. The president has made it compulsory to wear face coverings outdoors in the capital and other major cities as a condition of the gradual lifting of lockdown measures. I'm Marissa Melton. This is VOA News.